Our voice is our strongest weapon, and I think police women or women in general are very good at communicating. So if you have to take your child in, they're recovering from a non-contagious illness, you can work out of the room in the building. It is all set up with AFP equipment, and so you're not away from work. Yeah, it just sort of taught me a lesson. You know, my job is extremely important, but so is my family.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Halo Sobat Polri, apa kabar hari ini? Semoga semua dalam keadaan sehat walafiat ya. Dalam rangka menyambut hari jadi ke-74 Poluan Republik Indonesia, senang sekali saya AKP Novia Mesayu Aliza menyapa Sobat Polri semua dalam podcast kali ini yang mengusung tema Shaping the Future of Police Women. Nah, meskipun tema kali ini tuh rada berat ya, tapi pada podcast kali ini lebih ke arah bincang-bincang sih. Lebih ke arah bincang-bincang santai, dan episode kali ini sedikit berbeda dengan episode-episode sebelumnya. Karena kali ini saya didampingi oleh teman saya yang lumayan jauh ya. Kita undang dari Indonesia sekitar 6 jam kali mungkin ya. It is 6 hours from Indonesia.
Yes, 6 hours.
6 hours fast. So, mungkin konten kali ini bisa menjadi comparative studies atau bisa menjadi pembelajaran bagi kita semua. Tidak lain dan tidak bukan, kita sambut bersama Detective Acting Sergeant Susan Cooper, Liaison Officer for People Smuggling, Jakarta Post in Indonesia, Australian Federal Police ya. Correct. Ibu Susan Cooper, it is such an honor to finally meet you in person, Ibu.
And thank you very much for having me here today to help celebrate your Indonesian Women's Police Day.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu. So how are you, Ibu?
Yes, very good, thank you. Senang bertemu dengan Anda.
Yeah, Bu. Bu, actually for today's sessions, we'll talk about police itself, police woman itself, ya, Bu.
Yeah.
Because most of the people think when we heard the terms of police itself, maybe we can picture it as a man that's strong, male-dominated, isn't it, Bu? Nah, but nowadays, many people most of the people also want to become a policewoman itself. Nah, and everyone have their purpose to become a policewoman. And how about you, Bu?
Yes, well, I don't see it as a male or a female job. I just see it as a job of someone who wants to help the public. You know, I think especially for police women, our voice is our strongest weapon, and I think police women or women in general are very good at communicating, which we were always taught in recruit training that. Your voice is your strongest
weapon. Yeah.
So
I also have a questions for you. When the first time you joined into the police force itself, what motivated you to join into police force?
Okay, well, I guess I have always been an adventurous type person, and I was looking for a career where I could work both inside, outside, and in a variety of locations, both in Australia and overseas. And Australian Federal Police really ticked all those boxes.
Oh, really?
So that's how I came to become an AFP officer.
Do you have like a role model that made you decide to become a policewoman itself? Or maybe your mother is a police officer?
No. We don't have anyone in our family who was a police officer, but it was my father originally that saw my sense of adventure and the fact I like relating to people and suggested this career. So then I started researching back a long time ago, and here I am today.
How long was it? It's like 24?
Yeah, 24 years.
Oh yeah, isn't that long?
Saya orang tua.
Oh, that's cool. Anyway, I heard that you've been here for around 10 or 9 months, isn't it?
Yeah, I will be here for 10 months. I have been here already for 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe can you do a favor for me? Could you greet our Sobat Polri there in bahasa Indonesia?
Greet them?
Bisa, Bu?
Okay, saya coba. Saya senang bertemu semuanya, and selamat hari polisi wanita.
Yeah.
Betul.
Betul, you really good at Indonesia.
Terima kasih. Saya belajar di bahasa Indonesia di Pulau Lombok.
Oh, di Pulau
Yes, the
Lombok.
AFP supported me to learn bahasa
Bahasa
Indonesia.
Indonesia. For how long?
Over 3 years.
3 years. It's
Yeah,
quite
at
long, isn't it?
university in Australia, but I studied in Lombok 1 month every
1
year
month.
for 3 years.
Was it in 2016?
2016? Yeah.
So you've been often come to Indonesia,
Yeah,
right?
to practice.
Oh.
And before this, I also worked in Malaysia as well.
Malaysia as
AFP,
well.
so,
Okay, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of experience in Indonesia.
My heart is in Asia.
Yeah. So based on your statement before that you already served in the police office as a police officer itself for 24 years, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Do you find any challenges when you become a police officer itself? Do you have it?
Not when I joined. I mean, I was young when I joined. I didn't have children, you know, so we all trained together. You know, it was a good variety. You learn how to fire a weapon. You learn defensive skills. You know, we were all fit, and we learned, you know, all the academic, you know,
All
the
of it.
legislation. But I guess, you know, it became a little bit harder when I became a mother to juggle, you know, with having a family
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also
yeah.
being a police officer.
Yeah, it is like I think it become like barriers. Most of the women, yeah, not only police women, but all of the women will have to choose between like a family or career. They become like an I know we have to do like a work-life balance itself, but it's it's really hard, isn't it?
It is difficult, I think,
Yeah.
and we were having the conversation earlier. I think we're very lucky in the AFP in that they have a lot of provisions that allow us to do both. So when my children were young, we have a good maternity leave provision, 3 months.
3 months.
And then you can also take the rest. I took 2 years off, like with each child, a year off to care for the child when they were young, and then return to work part-time. We have flexible work agreements, so you can do work 2 days a week, you can work 3 days a week.
Oh, really?
Very
For how
flexible.
long? For how long
As
that
long as you
agreement
like.
of? As long as you like.
Yeah.
So you
with,
can
with
just,
agreement, but I did it probably for about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
So is there like any conversations for that?
Yes, you have to apply and put your case forward. But generally it's sort of a mutual agreement. But the other thing we also have is job sharing. So another way I worked was I shared one position with another colleague in the same boat.
Oh,
so
right
it meant that we both got to keep our skills up and also do our parenting duties at the same time.
Oh, that's
So the
nice.
AFP is really good at that. Really
Yeah.
good.
10 years is quite long.
And one last thing, can I add? We
Yes,
we have at the AFP offices, we have family rooms.
Family rooms.
Yeah. So if you have to take your child in, they're recovering from a non-contagious illness, you can work out of the room in the building. That is all set up with AFP equipment, and you can. So you're not away from work.
Is it like a daycare itself or not?
No, you're with your child. No daycare.
Oh,
but
right.
you're
It's
with
like
your child.
a room special for you, that officer.
Short-term care, so that you can still go to the office and.
In every office.
I'm not sure if it's in every office, but all the main offices.
Oh, that's
especially
that's
I know we have
cool.
one in Sydney, in Canberra.
In Sydney, you have it. In
And breastfeeding mothers
breastfeeding, like
use
stations
those.
room. Yeah, it's become a requirement as well in Indonesia as well.
Yeah.
So we support that, like gender mainstreaming as well in our country.
Yeah.
And you know, in Indonesian National Police itself, we just signed the gender mainstreaming regulation from Chief of Indonesian National Police.
Oh,
and
well.
it has a very pretty number. It was signed on 2 February on 2022. So it's really number cantik, we called it. To make sure that gender mainstreaming issues become the priority in our institutions as
that's
well.
great. That's such an achievement, and you won't forget the date.
Yeah. Because it's like have a number cantik. Okay, Ibu. So, Ibu, can I call you Ibu?
Yes, Ibu.
So, Ibu, all of the people have their lowest point of life. Can I say that? Yeah, lowest point of their life.
Yeah.
Do you have that as well when you have duties and then I don't know, you feel like I don't know, you feel like
I know exactly what you're
point in your
trying
life.
to ask.
You know, what is it?
Yeah, okay, so there was one incident, and it was my son's second birthday party, and I got a call because we had a search warrant.
Search
So I had to leave the child's birthday party and go for a briefing, and I really thought, what am I doing, you know, family first. And yeah, so that was one point where I thought, yes, there's got to be a balance here. So I think from then on, every time there was a birthday or a school event or whatever, I made sure I take leave before you know, the event, so this wouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
And AFP does have very good leave provisions, so yeah, it just sort of taught me a lesson. You know, my job is extremely important, but so is my family.
Yeah. Of course.
And of course, coming here for 6 months.
Yeah. I also couldn't think about it. Like, you've been around the world, on the globe, right? When I see your CV, you've been in Malaysia, you've been in Northern Territory of Sydney Airport. That's in Sydney.
Yeah.
And then you've been in
Christmas Island.
Yeah, Christmas Island. A lot of experience and overseas.
Yeah.
How you can like handle it? I mean, like, where is your family? Are your family coming with you?
Yeah, well,
together in Indonesia?
Sometimes they are. So this posting, they're not. So I hadn't seen my family for 6 months.
Yeah.
But now my children are teenagers, so they like to be on their own anyway. But when I went to Malaysia, I was very lucky. I was able to take my daughter with me and live with me, and she did distance education. So the AFP were very supportive of that. So a bit of a combination. Christmas Island was 6 weeks without the children, and Northern Territory 3 months without the children. But I'm lucky to have a very supportive partner, my husband, who is happy to share the load.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But your family now is staying in
Australia.
In Australia.
Yeah,
All
in
right.
Australia.
In Australia.
They're so busy they don't even want to come and visit. But
Oh gosh.
I'm lucky. I just went home to visit them, so they are surviving.
Ibu Susan, can you share with us about your work experience in AFP itself?
Of course I can. I've had 24 years. I've had a lot of different experiences. So I've worked in different areas: fraud, narcotics, people smuggling, identity crime, criminal asset, and of course my postings. So all of these have different challenges, sometimes different adventures, and I'm very lucky to have worked in the variety of positions in the AFP. I have one kind of funny story from early on I can tell you, but maybe that's another question.
It's okay. You can spill it now.
So very early on in my career,
Yeah.
before we had the Special Operations Group, we used to do a lot of time on boats out at sea.
Yeah.
So when we used to intercept the narcotic carrying vessels, and so one time we were out at sea, we couldn't see land 3 days, and it was so rough. The whole crew was seasick. I was seasick. We lost the life raft off the roof of the boat, and so I think if the criminals had brought in the narcotics, we would have been of no use. And we also had to scale the side of vessels with rope ladders. Yeah, and especially with the people smuggling ventures, they used to hide them on cargo ships.
Oh, yeah.
So we used to, but now that's all done by the Special Operations Group.
When was it?
This was in about 2004.
2004.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, it's really a long time ago. But that's quite a good experience.
Maybe you weren't born then.
I've already born that.
But most recently I was posted to the Northern Territory for the we assisted the Northern Territory Police to protect the vulnerable Aboriginal communities against COVID-19. So what we did is we sort of had border controls for these communities, and this is very remote areas. Like we were 400 kilometers from the closest shop.
400 kilometers, right?
And we worked 24 hours, 12-hour shifts, and there were, camels, there were donkeys, there were dingoes, feral cats, buffalo, cane toads, snakes. So on one shift, what animals are we going to see?
Wow, that's really
quite fun.
Quite fun. You said that. It's quite fun. All right.
Yeah.
But is it far from your house?
Yeah,
I guess
this one-
the Northern Territory.
Northern Territory, yes.
It's quite
Another
far.
probably 3 to 4 hour flight. Yeah, it's really far.
But
And
you
it's-
have to go back to your home base or
No, so that was a 3-month deployment.
3 months.
Yeah, so you're away for
Special
3
assignment
months.
is it? Yeah, 3
another
months deployment. Then you can come back. Or
Yeah.
can you